good, everybody? This your boy D Money. We on another episode of yeah. I forgot my headphones. But I'll just get it in the morning though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Had to get my headphones. Long ass shift today. But one, day in the life of a designer. Make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure that you tap in with the From the Mud collection, which is on our website. We also got the spoken word and poetry book as well too. So make sure that you tap in, show love. Stay tuned for a second because we got, design is a mirror for y'all tonight. This is what we're gonna be talking about. So give me 1 second. Thank you. Chef. Guess you had to put some things back. Where? All right, yeah. My bad, Chef. All right, Chef. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Appreciate you. Yeah, so what we're going to be talking about tonight is, design is a mirror. What does it say about you as a designer? You feel me? Because ultimately, when it comes to your designs, they're only just a mere reflection of your mindset, your morals, your principles, what you stand for, stand on, and, ultimately how you will treat another person. So definitely reflects, the type of person that you are and the way that you carry yourself. Your overall character comes out in your design. So to be a true designer, you constantly got to grow with your brand. And even before it really gets started, you got to be on a continuous growing journey. You feel me? It's not something that, is for the weak. It's definitely something, for the strong. Why design is personal, especially for me, it's, every designer leaves fingerprints on the work. You know what I'm saying? Your taste reflects your experiences. Copying trends keeps your work anonymous. You feel me? It's just that simple. Every designer, wants to leave a footprint with their work. Let it, speak volumes within the culture, within the community. But at the same time, it's like how we, spoke last night. You feel me? You got to have, some authenticity, a vision, goals, and ultimately, you got to have some type of taste in order to set up a solid brand, with a solid foundation. Then on top of that, your taste reflects your experiences. So it's not necessarily, how expensive things are or whether you consider it to be upper middle or lower class, but more so about the experiences and where you came from, and you know what I'm saying, what has set the tone for you. You know, copying trends is just a designer, you know, with no vision. Pretty much you just putting products together just so that way you can sell. You might as well just create merch for that. You know what I'm saying? Identity, you know, before aesthetics. Who are you designing for? You feel me? Who is your target audience? Who, you know, do you actually think will be buying? You feel me? Is it, you know, preppy? Is it, you know what I'm saying, workout wear? Is it, you know, street wear, street fashion? You know what I'm saying? High fashion. These are the things you got to consider, you feel me? What values guide your, you know, decisions? You know what I'm saying? Where does your, you know, character truly lie? You feel me? What do you stand on? That's, you know, the identity. You know what I'm saying? Why philosophies, you know, creates consistency, because it's a clear message, you know what I'm saying, that actually is able to help people clearly understand what the hell you're trying to, you know, present to them, whether in product form or in content form. So, you know, your philosophy is, you know, the thing that helps people see what you're ultimately talking about and what helps, you know, them gravitate to you over and over again. Building a recognizable voice, you know, style versus identity. You know, it's good to have good style. At the same time, if you know who the hell you are, nobody can really tell you too much of anything. So, you know what I'm saying? It's good, honestly, to have a mixture of both. But ultimately, you got to know who, you know what I'm saying, you are. Then, you know, the importance of repetition and refinement, like we spoke about last night. You know, less is more. So you got to approach things with the mindset that, you know, you don't have to have too much in order to create a statement or, you know, voice or express, you know, your style. All it needs is, you know, constant, you know, repetition within, you know, it is, I guess you could say, the visual language that you're trying to create. Then on top of that, you know what I'm saying, you just add different elements each time that you design. Maybe not to one specific design, but, you know, to the collection. Becoming known for something instead of, you know, everything. This is what I be trying to tell people, you know, when it comes to starting your own brand, when it comes to, you know, running a business, when it comes to, you know, just business and owning your own brand and business. You mainly want to, you know what I'm saying, focus on one thing that you're very strong, good at, you know what I'm saying? So that way people can recognize you for that first. And then once they're able to recognize you for that, then they go on, you know what I'm saying, hop on everything else you got to offer, you feel me? So, you know, take it one day at a time and focus in on that one thing, you know what I'm saying, get to, you know, ultimate as far as how good you are at it. And then boom, you know, sooner or later it's just gonna get to a point where nobody's gonna be able to stop you. You feel me? So just gotta understand and come up with a solid plan and execute that motherfucker. That's how you know, your dreams and goals, and how even, you know, the simplest things like the collection come together. Become known for, you know, something, man. Just become known for something. The fear of originality. That's what, you know, I feel like a lot of people be fearing, especially nowadays, especially with, you know, times being the way they are. You know, money isn't, you know, as abundant to people. as it once was. So, the main thing you want to do is primarily focus in on, you know, just being creative. Don't sit there and try to play it safe. Don't sit there, you know, and try to do the most. Just sit there, you know what I'm saying? And, let your emotions out. As long as, you know what I'm saying, it's got a solid message and, a strong visual language and a consistent one, people always gonna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Learn from, influence without becoming an imitation. You feel me? There's times where, you're gonna be looking at different designs and, you're gonna be inspired by it, whether it be the typography or the, photography of the, design. But ultimately, the main goal is to focus in on, what is actually inspiring you. What is, the different attributes of that inspiration? How is it going to, inspire you to, create something different, bold, and, life-changing? And then you go from there. And then, of course, you ask the questions of who am I making this for? Why does this product exist? Things of that sort. Is it going to last 10, 15 years down the line? But, embrace imperfect beginnings. I think this is another important thing too. A lot of people don't like to embrace the, imperfections of your beginning. I've had to, go through it myself as well too. Cause just being brand new, you think everything's gotta be a certain way just because of how people continuously tell you things and, put it out there. But honestly, when it comes down to it, when you just, go after your dreams and then you just consistently show up, it's nothing like it, first and foremost. And then when you're doing it original, you know what I'm saying? You're not sitting there copying, you're not sitting there following every trend. You sitting there just being, on a flow and on a plane of your own. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's nothing like it. You got to go for legacy over likes. You know what I'm saying? Design for impact instead of algorithms. You feel me? Even when I post content now, like, just because I know it's my own original content and I'm not posting anybody else's content, like, it motivates you even more just to go after your dreams. Designing for impact, instead of algorithms primarily means, you know what I'm saying? You just sticking to your own originality, your own design style, your own, mindset and way of doing things, but also still considering, the customer as you create. You feel me? Creating work that matters, years from now. Like we just said, you gotta think decades, not days. You feel me? So, ultimately, what does your current body of work say about you? That's the questions that we're gonna start to tap in tonight. For me, you know what I'm saying? Ultimately, it just says that, I'm a person that moves with intent. I'm a king, at heart. Regardless of, what somebody says about me, I know that about myself. And then on top of that, I go after my purpose each and every day. You feel me? If someone removed your name, and would they still recognize your work? Hell yeah. I mean, honestly, right now, I would say the people that know my work will recognize my work. But overall, I wouldn't say that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of up in the air just because I'm not known around the world yet. But once we known around the world, we'll circle back to that question for sure. But you know what I'm saying? What needs to change over the next year to become the designer you envision? Honestly, for me personally, to become the designer that I envision, even within the next year, like, I honestly can't fuck with nobody no more. Like, that's just how I feel. Like, I've been feeling like that for the past couple of weeks just because, everybody continuously lets me down, bro. some way, shape, or form, they let me down. They don't show up enough, or they don't show up at all. And then when you ask them to do shit, they rarely ever do it. And if they do it, they take forever to do it. So it's kind of like one of them things now where I don't even want nobody, to do shit for me unless I'm paying them. And then, if I pay them and they don't show up, then I can at least sue them. That'll give me satisfaction. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of, establishing myself more as a business owner, just so that way, I get the proper respect with the work that I'm putting in. Design isn't about creating beautiful things. It's about revealing who you are, one decision at a time. Your portfolio is more than, a collection of projects, and it's a reflection of your philosophy, your discipline, and your legacy. So just think about that as, you think about designing, because ultimately, like I said, is a mirror. It's exactly what, you think of yourself, what, you say about yourself and how you feel. So, keep visualizing your purpose. Remember to always put together a solid plan. Do the research, and, go after your dreams and goals, because they will come to fruition. So, we'll be back here tomorrow. Make sure you check out the, From the Mud collection, which is on our website. Make sure you check out the Spoken Word album, which is available on all streaming platforms. And make sure you also check out our, poetry book, which is available on all book platforms and even at your local library. I appreciate all y'all for showing love, all the day ones for constantly supporting. And if today is your first day being a day one, I appreciate you for joining the team. Keep visualizing, and I'm out.